Hi, this is Dylan Murphy with Navitome, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to working with a guide. So some person or organization has authored content and they're sharing it with you through a Navitome guide. Right? And they can do this by sharing a link or by inviting you to a project. Eventually you'll get into a guide that looks something like this. Now before this you may have answered some questions that help Navitome customize the content that's delivered to you. But now we're in the guide, right? So on the left hand side, you can see I've got a number of different topics and pages under those topics. So if I go ahead and click on one of the pages, I can see the content to the right. This is the content you're actually reading through. You can see an author can embed things like video, they can embed images, text, but they can also ask you questions as a reader, right? So, here's a question about if you want to create a trial account. And I answered, sure, I'd love one. Now, Navitome is designed to be trackable and help you work towards goals and understanding a topic or acting on something. So as I go through the content, I can click on it and mark it complete. And I can always come back to these guides by creating an account, coming back in and clicking on the title of the guide. With that in mind, if you'd like to rename the guide, you can do that by clicking on it, naming it something different, and save it. All right, and this will show up in your own My Guides personal space if you choose to create an account. If I go to the next page, let's take a look on the right on some other things we can do here as I'm reading this. Some content, you might want to print and take with you. You can do that by printing here. Viewing questions, that has to do with the customization questions that you may or may not get presented with at the beginning of the guide, and you can change the answers to those. Full screen launches this into full screen, so this is helpful for working with someone side by side or presenting content. Files, if the author has embedded files in your guide, they'll all show up here. It's kind of like your one-stop shop for files embedded in this. Comments, one cool thing you can do is you can comment on content in a guide. So if I click this comment button and say, oh, this is a great use case, and I hit send, now I'm commenting on the content in here. So this is helpful in a few different ways. One, if there are other people who have access to this guide that you're working on because it's part of a shared project or you've shared the guide with someone, and we'll cover those topics in some different videos, they'll be able to see this comment and you'll be able to kind of talk back and forth around the content. However, if you're the only person on this guide and it's private to you, this can serve sort of as a note-taking place for you. Right. Now the last thing here, there's a section called Manage. And if I'm working on a guide that I want to share with another end user, so let's say in this case I'm learning about what Navitome can do for me. If I think, oh, this would be great to share with Connor, who also I think could get value out of this. All right, I click on Add People and I add that person and I invite them, and now they're added to this and we can work on it together. So that's a quick overview of kind of the interface when you work with a guide as an end user. And we look forward to teaching you more in upcoming videos. Thanks a lot.